You need to start virtualizing your hacking lab right now. In cybersecurity, we deal with a lot of operating systems from Kali Linux to Ubuntu to Windows to Mac. Not just for your hacking or pen testing, but it could even be for testing out your new 0 days or some vulnerabilities, or it could even be that you're developing a project on your Ubuntu operating system. Now imagine, for every operating system you start to buy a computer, you just end up with a huge pile of laptops and computers that you might never use, or it could be just for one specific project that you wanted to. So that's a solution for it. That is virtualization. Okay then, so I have mentioned the timestamps somewhere here, right or left, I am not sure. But yeah, these are the timestamps where you can directly jump into the exact section of the video where you want to follow along. But let's start with what is virtualization. So simply put, in simple words, it's nothing but running a computer inside another computer. It's basically which enables us to run multiple computers on a single hardware resources that we have. This is achieved by something called as hypervisors. Hypervisors are nothing but a software which enables virtualization to a hardware resources. So there are two types of hypervisation, the type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. The type 1 hypervisor is this entire video that we'll be covering to, which I will come in some moment. But then I would like to discuss the type 2 hypervisor, which is commonly used by everyone or probably anyone in the field of cybersecurity or IT or a person who's into hacking or anything like that is commonly used. Something like VMware Workstation Pro or Player, Oracle VM VirtualBox. They're all type 2 hypervisors. They're nothing but a software which enables us to virtualize hardware resources to an virtual operating system which we can run inside an existing operating system, right? For example, my laptop could be having Windows 10 in it, and then on top of that I install VirtualBox or VMware Workstation, and then inside that the Kali Linux is installed, right? So that's a virtual machine which is initiated or is created by something called as type 2 hypervisor. That is kind of okay if you're running it on a computer, but then that comes with a lot of disabilities, such as the hardware resources of the computer should be shared with the operating system primarily, and then should be given to the software of virtualization, which is the Oracle VirtualBox or the VMware Workstation, and then it's going to be shared to the virtual machines whatever we have installed. That is a problem, but not for all of us. I mean, that is totally good for us. In fact, that's what I use for my videos and my YouTube stuff and all those things. But exactly what happens is when you're scaling this process, imagine you want to run multiple virtual machines, and this primary operating system such as the Windows is just there for you to host these virtualization software. It's a waste of resources because the operating system is just ideally running a software. So there comes the type 1 hypervisor. That is, we take up this hardware or this laptop and we remove the operating system what is installed. In this case, I had the Windows 10 in it. I'm just going to clean it, wipe, and then install the type 1 hypervisor. So there are multiple type 1 hypervisors in the industry, such as VMware ESXi, Proxmox, and many things like that. But in our case, in today's video, because we have some hardware constraints and I want everyone to be able to just install it on their old PCs or old computers, I'll be going with a virtualization software called as Proxmox. Now, the advantage of using Proxmox is that it's Linux based, which means that you can customize the hypervisor as per your needs, which is what I want because I do have my some custom scripts for backing up, exporting, and all those things. So I need some software which is open source and I can modify it. Now, VMware ESXi is also based upon a Linux environment itself, but they have their own constraints to industrial servers only. You cannot just spin it up or you can, but there are some hardware restrictions when you're using some old PCs like this. So let's get with what do we need. First off, we need a USB drive. In my case, I'm using 16 gigabits of USB drive for installing the Proxmox ISO image. I'll be flashing it to this and then booting up to my hardware. For the hardwares, I'll be using my old laptop Basically, it was just catching up some dust, and I thought, why not showcase it to this video for installing some virtual machines for a hacking lab, right? So yeah, this is my laptop. I know the hinge is broken, all those things were there, so I just thought it was actually hidden inside, but then got a good topic to make a video on. So I'll be using this laptop. There is some basic configuration required for running Proxmox. It doesn't spin on all computers. Just go to their website and you'll be able to see their pre-requirements, which I'll not be getting into right now. But then yes, USB drive or hardware or your laptop or your PC or any systems, or if you're interested, you can even buy an industrial server, rack mounted servers, and then spun it up. Proxmox. It's simple. Then before I forget, you need to have Ethernet connection, Ethernet cable. I've actually run it through there, but then you need to have a switch or a router where you can connect the Ethernet cable, and it has internet connections, and it has a DHCP servers, all those networking stuff, and you need to have access to Ethernet cable. I tried. In fact, I went through their documentations also. This laptop has Wi-Fi NIC in it, but then it doesn't work. It requires the Ethernet port itself. So make sure that your hardware that you're using has a NIC in it for Ethernet cables. Proxmox come up with some solution for Wi-Fi. I don't know. Maybe there could be a solution by now, but I don't know about it. So that is it. So all that you need is a USB drive, a hardware, an Ethernet cable, and some water, because you will be hydrating yourself a lot of time. There'll be a lot of waiting time. Okay, then let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with the step 1 of installing the ISO image of Proxmox. So I've come to their Proxmox site, and then under the downloads section, you will find a lot of ISO versions of Proxmox. I'll choose the first one. I'll click on the download button, and that should start downloading the ISO image of my Proxmox. So press enter. That's going to start downloading it. After that, I also want Rufus. It's a software which enables us to flash the ISO image into this USB drive. So in this Rufus page, you can scroll down here and then select Rufus 4.7.exe. That should be a very small file. Then hitting enter, that will download. Okay, so once downloaded, we will go to the downloads folder and then run this exe file, which is going to flash our operating system into the USB drive that we have. Let me bring it here. Now, let me take the USB drive, which I'll be using for flashing. But yeah, remember, this is going to be flashing and removing all the data what is present in this USB drive. So make sure you have some backup of the data that you have stored in this USB drive. If not, just plug it into your computer, and then that should be it. So it populates all of our information of our hard disk, the USB drive, and it has selected the option disk or ISO image. So let's click on select, and that shows up to our downloads folder. Select the ISO image that you just downloaded for your Proxmox and click on open. It gives the error saying that as a result, it'll be writing in DD image. So we just click it on OK. So once that's done, click on start. It says all data on this device will be destroyed. Yeah, just click on OK. We just need to go through that, and that will start writing on our USB drive. So it's going to take some time. Take some coffee break or take some rehydration break or whatever. Just go out, watch at the sun. It'll be fun. Okay, so once that's done, click on close. That should be it. So you can unplug your USB drive from the system. And let's go to the Proxmox server. Wait. Before we install Proxmox server, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Floppy Data. Floppy Data is a powerful proxy service designed to make online activities secure, seamless, and accessible from anywhere in the world. Whether you need proxy for secure browsing, automation, or large-scale data collection, Floppy Data has you covered. With millions of global IP addresses to choose from and a flexible proxy option, which makes it most unique, giving you with a cost effective, which is starting from $0.9 per GB of proxy traffic. The thing which makes it more unique and something which I love It has top tier security, which protects your data and stays you anonymous while you're browsing. The one main feature that I loved was the easy team management, a centralized control to manage teams and access from one place. I highly recommend Floppy Data, an affordable, fast, and reliable proxy solution for all your needs. Whether you need proxy for web scraping, automation, or just secure browsing, Floppy Data has the best option for you. Check out the description below for special offers and a code to get 30% off. Okay, so this is the laptop in which I want to install my Proxmox server. So first make sure you have connected your Ethernet cable to this server. In my case, I have inserted the Ethernet cable. Once that's done, you just need to take the USB drive in which you have flashed your Proxmox OS and then insert it to the USB drive. Then power on your Proxmox server. Keep typing or pressing the delete button till you open up the BIOS of the laptop. In my case, I'm getting some battery issues of the laptop. Let's click on enter. That will just ignore it. Then go to delete. Okay, in my case, I'm directly getting the Proxmox installation page. If not, you will have to go to your BIOS options and then select to boot it into a USB drive. And that will lead you to the same page that we are seeing here. Now, I will zoom in and you'll be able to see an option to see install Proxmox VE graphical. So I will select that option and that will start to select the installation files and populate the drive with all the contents of Proxmox which needs to be installed. Here in this option, you can go down here, click on I agree. It's somewhere here in the bottom. So click on I agree. Then select the disk which you have in which you want to be installing your Proxmox server. I will have the option to just choose one. So I'll select that disk itself and then click on next. Here I will enter my country, which is India. So it will automatically select the time zone to Asia, Kolkata, and keyboard layout is US English. Click on next. Then I will add in a password which I will be using for logging into my Proxmox server, and some random email address which I want to be using for any mails that I will get from Proxmox server. Then click on next. Okay, we need to enter a proper domain to this. So I will name this as proxmox1.local or proxmox2.local, since I already have a Proxmox server in my network. My IP address which I want to set it. So I have a custom IP address which I have planned to use for this Proxmox server, which is 192.168.1.10. It's going to take a default address which you can use it. Then click on next and click on install. That is it. So it will take its time to install the Proxmox server. Then it's going to restart a couple of times. Then that should be it. Okay, now it has installed Proxmox. I forgot to unplug the USB drive when it restarted. If you get the same prompt, just remove the USB drive and then power it off. And then just power back it on. So that will put into the Proxmox server instead of putting it into your USB drive or the pen drive. So yeah, just press enter. Then that should technically boot you into the Proxmox server. Let's give it a second. Once that's done, all that we have to do is to head back to our main computer, and then we'll be configuring our Proxmox into installing different operating systems in that web UI instead of the terminal that we'll be getting here. Okay, so we get the login prompt here. The default username is root and the password is the one which you had set up during the installation setup. And we get the root access, right? That's it. Now let's head back to the main computer or the computer in which we are connected to the same network, and let's configure the Proxmox through the web UI. Okay, once Proxmox is completely installed, all that we are left is to configure the Proxmox server. For that, I'm using my Linux operating system here and then opening up the web browser. Then I'll browse to my IP address, which is 192.168.1.10 10 dot not the 10 colon and then 8006, and it gives us some potential risk ahead and all those error here or the warnings. You just click on accept the risk and continue. It's just talking about the HTTPS that is not verified, the certificate. Now here I will log in with the username root and the password which I had set, and then click on login. And you don't have to worry about this warning. It just says that you don't have a valid subscription for this server. This is only basically that since this is an open source software, and for the support they ask you to pay for it. So I mean, we don't need that. In case you have any support that is required, you can just comment down below and I will probably help you all. So not of that. Okay, anyway, so yeah, this is it. We are in our Proxmox server. But one thing, if you see here, you can see that we have two disks. One is the local and other is local LVM. Now, the laptop which I'm currently using probably has around 1 TB of storage in it. But here, it just shows 100 gigabytes, and this shows probably some around 853 gigabytes of storage. Now, this is only the case where you have a single drive in your laptop or probably the disk which you're using. But if you have multiple disks where you have already partitioned for 100 gigabytes and the rest of the other gigabytes, that's fine. But in the case where you have a single disk which is installed in the system and you're able to see such situation, what we can do is let's delete this disk. The reason is that this disk is not useful for anything. You can't install virtual machine disks into it or store ISO images or any of such things which are really important for us to be interacting with the Proxmox server. That leaves us kind of disabled into doing anything. So let's delete this particular disk and then make sure that this disk of local is capable of being interactable and usable to our system. So the first step that we will do is let's go to the data center here, and under the storage option we will select this local LVM and then click on remove. Are you sure? Yes. So once that is done, come to the Proxmox here and then click on shell. A shell is going to be opened here, and then enter the following commands which I typed down. I'll provide the link in the description below. So the command is lv remove and then dev pve/data. Then press enter. Then it's going to ask you, do you really want to remove the active logical volume? So type Y, enter, and it says successfully removed data. Now what we'll do is lv resize, then -l plus 100% free, then dev pve root. So this command and then press enter. So that's going to basically allocate whatever free space is there, the 100% free space, to the root of this file system. Once that's done, let's say resize to fs, then dev mapper, then pve root. Press enter. That is going to give all the remaining blocks to the root disk. So that should give us the successful message. I'm just waiting for it. Okay, that's good. So now we have the storage to be long enough. So if I come back here, I can see that I've got the entire 975 gigabytes of the storage to this disk, which is fantastic, which is what we need. Now again, since I'm running this on a laptop, the screen is active right now. If you're able to see your Proxmox server right now, you can see the screen to be active, which I don't want to. I want to be able to close the lid and dump it somewhere else. Where it was, I just want to keep it there with the proper network and power supply connection, but I want to close the lid. But if I close it now, it's going to turn it off or it's going to crash my server. So let's edit some of the system files to be able to close the lid and it not turned off. So nano if I can type that right. Nano etc system d lognd.conf, then press enter. Then I'll just go a little down. I'll say handle lid switch. Okay, this is from suspend. I will move that to ignore. I'll type that in. Then scrolling down, docked. Let's also uncomment this option here, which is handle lid switch docked is equal to ignore. So we'll have these two things enabled. Then Control X, Y, and enter. Now I'll say systemctl restart system d log nd.service, and then press enter. That restarts it. Now one more thing that I want to do is, after I just close it in, I want also the lid to turn itself off. I mean the display to turn it off. So I want to edit nano etc default, then grub. Coming here, grub command line Linux. I'll move it here, and then add the line saying console blank equals to 300. So this will make sure our lid turns off after 300 seconds, and then we can close it and keep it anywhere. It doesn't burn out the screen there. Okay, I need to say update grub, and yeah, it is generating the grub configuration file, and that should do it. Let's wait for it, and that's done. That's good. Now the next thing that I want to do is to be able to update my Proxmox server. Now since we don't have the subscription here, if you have a subscription, we do get the enterprise versions and advantages of it. But since we're not using a subscription model, I don't want it to be always trying to look for some enterprise updates and giving us an error saying that we can't update because the enterprise version is not enabled. So what I will say is I will go to nano etc apt source list .d, and then enterprise or PVE enterprise list. So I'll have the commands in the description below. You'll be able to just copy paste it, press enter, and I'll comment this thing, Control X, Y, enter, and yeah. So apt get update, and that is working on the updates, whatever is present for this Proxmox server. Let's give it some seconds for it to show us the update. Yes, it's trying to connect, and I hope there are no errors. I mean, there are no updates. So reading package done. You can just ignore all the errors and notifications. What we'll do is sudo apt dist upgrade and -y. Okay, I don't have sudo there. Apt dist upgrade -y, and this will go after upgrading the server. Once that's done, we'll just reboot our server, which will just fix all the updates, and then that should be done. So I'll wait for this update to get over and then continue back. Okay, so our Proxmox is updated now. All that I will do is to reboot the server. It says connection closed, which is fine. I don't need the shell anymore. So yeah, I'll wait for my Proxmox there to boot it up itself, and then we'll connect back to it. Okay, I see my Proxmox server to have restarted. Let me try refreshing this page. And yes, no. Okay, let me, yeah, it has come up alive. So yeah, that is it. With this, we have successfully installed the Proxmox server. All that I will do is now probably show how I download the ISO image files. So let me upload the file, right? So let me, 1 second. So I'll say download from a URL. That's usually the better way. I will search for Ubuntu, and then probably go to Ubuntu's one of the ISO image files. Let's search that. Come on, why are you taking so time? Okay, in here, let me go to download Ubuntu and then server probably. Get Ubuntu server. Then select this one. Then, yeah, I don't want to download that. I'll just cancel it. Then copy this link here. I'll open up a text editor. Then bring it here. That's good. Do some modification in this one. I just want it till the ISO file. Copy this URL. Come back here, paste this in, query the URL. Then advanced hashing algorithm. No, I don't want to verify it. Just go and download it. And that will download the ISO image of Ubuntu. It'll just get saved there. And then it's normal process of creating a virtual machine. I'll just showcase till that. And let this ISO image file be downloaded. Okay, so the ISO image is completely installed. So close this up and we see the ISO file here. Now all that we have to do is to click on the create VM up in the top here, and then VM ID is 100. I will name this as cubes hack. Yeah, just my what do I say, the machine that I want to have. So start at boot, and then shutdown order, start order I'll set it as 1, delay let it be there for 60 seconds, and shutdown time for 180 seconds. This is just for that. So I'll name it as hosting. We can add tags. We can say hosting here, and then click on next. So ISO image, I'll select the ISO image of the Ubuntu machine which I've chosen. Then click on next. Then next, storage is going to be the local storage. Oh, that has not been selected. Okay, let me go back. Let me close this. Go to Proxmox, and then somewhere here we will find storage. Okay, to the data center, storage, and edit. We'll also select that this will hold up the disk images, probably containers, snippets, imports, whatever. So we will select all the options and then click on OK. So that this disk will be able to store all of our data. So we were not able to create a VM because of that reason itself. So again, the same process goes in. So I'll say cubes hack, and then I'll say start at boot, which means that when the Proxmox server starts, it also starts by itself. And then this should be the first machine that starts. I want a delay of 60 seconds and 180 seconds when it is powering it off. So it'll start after the Proxmox server is started after 60 seconds. And again, hosting, that is going to be the tag that I will add. And then click on next. ISO image, the one which I downloaded. Click on next. Linux itself, do I have any other kernel versions? No. So next. Everything is default here. I don't want to modify anything there. Storage has been selected local here. I'll name the disk size to be probably 100 gigabytes. I have infinite storage, so that's fine. So click on next. Sockets, I'll give 2 sockets, which will total up to 2 cores of processors. Then click on next. RAM 3 gigabytes, so 3072 if I'm right. Yeah, probably 3072. Let's use a calculator. Y2 calculator. 1024 into 3, which is 3072. Yes, I was right. So click on next. This is the network device which we have. So click on next. Confirm, start after created, finish. Yeah, so we are able to see our machine here. And then in the console is where we can play with our machine. We'll be able to interact with it, install the operating system, interact with the operating system, and all sort of fun that we can have here. So I'll just wait for the virtual machine to start. I can see my tags showing up and it's connecting here. We have an option to install Ubuntu right now. Yeah, so that is it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit on that like button, hit on that subscribe button, do all those YouTube algorithm stuff, hack YouTube's algorithm in an ethical way, just by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. And also check out our today's sponsor in the description below and also in the comments. Do let me know about your experience about our sponsor. So that is it. Thank you for watching this video.